You are gonna love this game if you haven't seen it already. It's a truly phenomenal attack played by a 14-year-old who I've talked about as being the next Magnus Carlsen potentially. It's Abhimanyu Mishra. His ratings progress is insane. He's the youngest Grandmaster ever, and he's playing in round 10 of the FIDE Grand Swiss against a chess legend, Vasyl Ivanchuk. This one's special, let's check it out. So e4 from Mishra, we get c5, the Sicilian. These opening moves lead us down an open Sicilian here. We get all four knights developing, and now bishop g5 starts the Richter-Rauser variation. We get e6 from Chucky, the Scheveningen pawn structure, so named after a sub-district of The Hague. I've done my homework just now, right? We get queen d2, preparing castle's queenside, and after a6, looking for this classic queenside expansion later to attack the white king. Well, now Mishra plays a very rare move. 12,500 games here in the Chess.com database go with castle's queenside. After that, you have like 100 games with bishop e2, 100 with this, 100 with f4, and 100 with knight takes on c6. It's the 5th most popular move, but it is the engine's second top choice, which is interesting. Mishra works hard. Now, why do you very rarely see this? Well, it's anti-positional. You bring a pawn to the center, which is now supporting d5 later, and you've opened the b file where your own king can be attacked. So what's Mishra got in mind? Well, he castles the king anyway, and now Chucky already goes wrong. So he should start with bishop e7 here, leave this pawn phalanx as it stands. But he immediately plays d5, and it's premature because this is the attacking idea of Mishra. Queen e3, just opening up these heavy pieces down these files here. There's already some nasty pins. And by the way, e5 wasn't working on the last move because black gets h6 and you swap minor for minor, black doing fine. If the bishop drops after h6, you go g5, etc. So queen e3 the move. Bishop e7 now, very natural, and here's one of the key attacking points. You give up the bishop for the knight. This is important, and you cripple the black pawn structure, because if bishop recaptures, then bang, you immediately crash through using all the pins. Queen can't take, of course, you lose it to the rook. White's already a pawn ahead with a huge attack. So this pawn captured, and now this is a cool way to develop the pieces, right? Bishop to c4, using that d-file pin, adding huge pressure here, although right now you are biting on a connect 3 granite, right? How's Mishra going to kind of unravel that king position? Because these pawns are rock solid. And after bishop b7, lending more support to the center, best move from Ivanchuk, rook he1 was now played, bringing more firepower, both cannons blasting down the board. And what do you do as black? It's really tricky. If you go queen c7 to castle queenside, will you run into really similar problems to if you castle kingside immediately, which is that you can just start ripping open. You trade everything here, still the queen can't take, and if pawn takes, this bishop drops. This is such a recurring theme in all the lines, that loose piece. So here Chucky goes pawn h5. Kind of activating move, also stops any queen h6 stuff, which would have been possible with the pawn here. And now Mishra just goes for it, right? He's 14 years old, he's attacking a legend. He doesn't hang about with bishop b3 or king b1. They're the top engine moves. He takes on d5, and we get this mass liquidation, all of it forced. Rook recaptures, and he's just trying to eat Chucky's king, right? Now that rook is immune. If you take it, then you are getting mated in one. So the queen has to stay with this awful, annoying bishop. So we get queen c7, very natural. Rook c5, chasing the queen away. Still, of course, you can't take, because after queen recaptures, the pin remains. You can't take back. You've lost the queen. So queen d8 played. We get some tickle. We get back here, and Chucky actually misses the proper defense. you should go queen d6, but it's very, very subtle. And the idea is, if white wants to keep attacking, you have to keep using this rook to harass that queen. If you go rook d5, it's dropping back to c7, you're just repeating. So what about rook c6? You know, you can't take, or you get mated. Well, then black drops back again, but this is subtly different. Because now if queen f3, which we see in the game, well, when you're eyeballing in this direction, your own rook blocks the way. And the rook's not on c5 anymore to support the attack on this pawn. So the computer gives this, well, actually the computer gives this position better for black. But back here, it gives this one as an equality. So that was the defense, but tricky. Chucky goes queen d8, and now Mishra, to his credit, he goes for it. He can keep repeating with rook d5, but he wants a shot at the legend, a chance to win, so he goes queen f3. Doesn't settle for a repetition and a draw. And this is an awesome move. It's the only move to keep some advantage and attacking, you know, try here. So he's eyeballing this rook and this pawn here. So Ivanchuk goes king f8, good move, breaking the pin, very natural, and now Mishra crashes through, picks up a third pawn. So he does have 3 pawns for the piece, and this raging attack. And what to do? It's just so hard to unravel these pieces. Now the computer wants king e8 here as a top move, but that looks so weird, stepping back into the pin. Then there's check, and you're forcing the king up here. The rook can be coming here. So naturally, he goes king g7. But that's why you see a small reaction here on the left from the evaluation bar. It's about +2 now for white. So, you know, Chucky would love to bring the queen or something, or activate this rook in some kind of way possible. But he's just not in time, because rook e3, and although white's only attacking with 2 pieces, they're a deadly duo in this particular position, especially with the way these ones are sort of on top of each other. So we get bishop d6, covering the square that the rook was looking to switch to, but now we get a nice little swap. So the queen comes to the g file, king runs, rook goes to the h file, and again there's huge problems. That's a threat down here to check, win this black queen. So king e7, very natural. Now queen e4 check, and the king runs across the d7 here. You're going to see the evaluation bar react, because the computer wants bishop e5. But who plays that right? You're walking into f4. Once your piece drops, you're going to be at least 2 pawns down. White's still attacking, you know what to say. So naturally, king d7 was played, but here you see the reaction from the computer. It doesn't like it, because you check down here, and this rook is a pain, because, you know, you want to block this check like this, but then this drops. This is the big problem. If you block with the bishop, then the rook switches back, queen's dropping off. So many problems. Mishra's piece is just flowing at Chucky here. So he goes king back to e8. If king e6, by the way, again the rook comes. If bishop blocks, f4, no good. So we see rook h8 check now, and it's precise. Because if you start with rook h7, looking for this mate, look at the evaluation bar, plummet, it's mate in 2. Do pause if you want to look for it. I'm sure you've got it in you. I think most people can find this one. It's bishop f4 check. King goes, and you get branked. So that wasn't played. Coming back here, we get the check played first. Decoying this bishop back to here. No bishop f4 check today. And now the rook switches back. This is subtle. But of course there's no check and then queen here to worry about. Instead, black's got to stop the mate threat. And how do you actually do that in a sensible way? If you come with the queen to here or here, again you lose your rook. So bishop e7 played, only move, sensible move to block it. But now there's queen c6 check. Not coming back with the rook, or you simply repeat. Now, why did Chucky resign here? Well, what to do? If you block the check with the queen, then you drop your rook once again. And if you step with the king here, well, now the bishop can't block, so you can check and win the queen, or this is really picturesque as well. You can take the rook in the corner, queen captures, then check, and you get this nice skewer at the end, and that's of course a 1 endgame. So this is a special young man, Abhimanyu Mishra. Remember the name, he's on the rise right now. If you enjoyed this, do subscribe to never miss a future video. Really helps me out as well. And see another epic game of chess, check out the video on screen. Thanks very much for watching and see you soon.